What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Today is day 35, I think, of the income stream. It is, what day is it? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Monday, April 20th. Thank you so much, Quaranteam, for showing up. Quaranteam, by the way. Today we're just going to do rapid fire Q&A. It's Monday, so we're going to go bam, bam, bam. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. I want it to be a record today. So you need to help me by asking questions, and I'm going to help you by answering them. Welcome to the income stream.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Welcome in, everybody. You know, during these segments of the show, and by the way, we go live every single morning. If you're brand new here, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me. And let us know that you're new, because the Quaranteam is going to welcome you in. This group of people that have been here since day 35 ago is just incredible. And if you came in yesterday or the first day, doesn't matter. You're amazing. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And man, we're going to answer as many questions as possible. You're going to come out of this going, bruh, unreal. So let's do that. I'm going to answer as many questions as possible. Samson says, get in the pit. You like that song, eh? Big shout out to Mike and Isabella from Music Radio Creative for that. What's up, Jennifer in the house? Welcome, Martin. Really excited to see what I learned from all of you today. And that's right, Martin, it's not just me. It's learning from all of you together, because the community is fantastic. Make sure you're clicking away or typing away. And if you're watching on mobile, I know that's a little bit harder, but hey, thank you for being here. Some of you are even watching me on the large screen in your living rooms and TV, which is kind of crazy. But by the way, thank you for doing that. And if you happen to have kids around you, don't worry. I keep this show clean. I got kids of my own. It's one of the reasons why I don't recommend Gary Vaynerchuk to my kids, because, you know, he's got a potty mouth a little bit. But me, my mouth's pretty clean. Although, it might smell a little bit. I'm not going to swear for you. So, hey, let's have some fun. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Ursula, Chris. Hello, team, says Chris. Came in on the third day, says Ursula. Jennifer, hi Pat, welcome from Raleigh. Bruh. No, just Samson, I need to find a friend with some barber experience. We're talking about barbers, right? Crazy. I don't know how I'm going to cut my hair eventually. I think April's going to cut it for me. Anyway, Corey in the house, not sure, but I may have been on all of them. I think you might have. Aubrey, welcome in. Dan in the house, welcome Dan. Thanks for being here today. We got Jonathan, aka the Travel Tourist, Professor of Perseverance, Kalpana in the house, WP Eagle, and April. What's up, April? Welcome in. Thank you so much. Let's see. Taking so much from the 0 to 100 emails challenge, says Rhino Dog. By the way, thank you for setting that up. I want to just tell you really quick before we get into the rapid Q&A. If you go to this webpage here, and you can get there by going to smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit. This will give you access to a bunch of things that'll help you during this time of crisis, from emergency podcast episodes, what to do if you get laid off, how to start freelancing, supplementing your income in that way, how to work from home and not go crazy, plus some courses that we've given away. We've given away over $2.2 million worth of Smart from Scratch there, which you can see at the top. And then we have a Build Your Own Brand course, the 0 to 100 email challenge, which Rhino Dog is taking right now. And these are all completely free right now. As well as some other books and tools from our partners and friends to help you during this crisis. And we just are here to serve, which is why I do this every morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We want to have some fun. We want to get some value your way. It holds me accountable to waking up, and we have something to look forward to together. By the way, we do have a light goal today. If we get to 200, I'm going to give away a signed copy of my book, Superfan. So if we get to 200 likes, I see we are a quarter of the way there with 52 likes already. 200, let's get there. Keep hitting that like button. All right, let's answer your questions today. By the way, Martin, thank you so much for the super chat that came in earlier. Super chats, which are like paid comments, they're not required here. You can get all this for free. However, if you do happen to offer a super chat, it'll be displayed right up here, and I want to thank you for that. And that all that money gets donated to the San Diego Food Bank. What's up, Ivan from Sacramento? Jelena from Yellow Brick Road Country. Cool. Got you up on the big screen, aka 24-inch external monitor. There's our thumbs down. You've been away. I guess you take the weekends off. All good. Our Healing Project says, "Hi, I'm new to the live streams. Love these. Awesome." Okay, here's our first question from Ern. Good morning, buddy. Are you currently against the thought of streaming on Instagram Live? There's now a platform that can stream it through Ecamm, Yellow Duck. Just a thought. I did not know that, so thank you for letting me know. I'm not against posting on Instagram. However, I do, and anybody who uses Ecamm, or all of us actually, have the ability to use tools like Restream to be able to stream to multiple places. Not Instagram yet, but I'll check out Yellow Duck in just a minute. But I prefer to just focus on one platform and one platform alone. Now, I do have maybe a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth from, number one, being on live streams as a viewer on one platform, but then the person addressing another platform more than the other. And it's because that other one was the one that was more populated. So then I felt kind of left out, and I don't want to ever have anybody sort of feel left out in that way. And again, I know how that feels. And secondly, the process of doing it, I've done before too, restreaming to multiple places. And this was done back in the day using a tool from livestreaming.com, which later got bought out by, I think, Vimeo. Anyway, it was very difficult to manage all the comments from all the different platforms at the same time. I'd much rather grow and focus on the one platform. And already we're seeing here on YouTube a lot of amazing byproducts of doing that. Number one, just the community here being able to connect with each other. I mean, if I were to display a comment from somebody on Instagram, yeah, it might still be helpful, but then you can't comment and have them respond and meet them and see them in the chat. It's kind of hard to make it happen. So for those reasons alone, I'm focusing, at least currently, on YouTube. And yes, I might be leaving out the Instagram audience. However, I use Instagram in a very certain way, which is I use the feed and the stories to just get people to know me a little bit more versus using it for my business. The Instagram is like, learn more about me here. YouTube and the live stream is like, let me answer your questions as fast as possible and let's hang out. And then, Twitter is my sort of announcements platform, if you will. And that's how I make it happen. TJ, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Let me pop this here for you. I do have a question today. How do you stop yourself from going down internet rabbit holes all day? Easy answer. Calendar with goals. Every day, I see my calendar and I see all that I have to do. And I know just in my head that if I go down a rabbit hole that I'm not going to be able to accomplish those goals. So I have, during those certain time boundaries, time to do those things and nothing else. I also schedule time to allow myself to get into YouTube rabbit holes or Facebook rabbit holes or internet rabbit holes. And I have to be very careful these days, especially because of all the political noise that's out there that I do not want affecting my work. And it does, because it's very negative and it's like, when are we going to get out of this? And there's all this other stuff going on related to election. And it's just like, wow, it bums me out and it decreases my energy. So I kind of just know to avoid those things. Now, there are some parts of, internet stuff that I do love, and then I would totally get into a rabbit hole. Like a lot of news about Tesla is really interesting to me. VR and gaming, wow, I could spend hours reading and watching videos about that stuff. But I allow myself in the evening time to do those things. In the afternoon, when I got to get work done, I know I'm going to get my work done, so I could kind of reward myself for that stuff a little bit later. Super chat from Sue. Thank you so much for that. Here's to a great week for all of us. Absolutely. Let's see, general versus specialized affiliates, name brand versus not known affiliates. I think it doesn't matter. What matters is, can the product be useful to the audience that we are sharing it with? And what is your experience with it? If your experience is happening to be with a non-name brand, but you know it like the back of your hand, you know that it's going to help serve your audience, then go with that one. It's your experience. You are playing expert curator. That's your role as the affiliate. You are expert curator, and you're saying, hey, there's all these other things, even big brand ones out there. However, I like this one because it does X, Y, and Z. It's also a smaller company, and they pay more attention to their users. This was very similar to when ConvertKit came out before it became known to become an email service provider that everybody should use. The big ones at the time were Aweber and MailChimp and GetResponse, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, all those. And I happen to favor ConvertKit because I got experience with it. I got to know the owner and I got to know the team there very well. And I knew that it would perform very well if I were to share it with my audience. So I sort of stepped up and I said, hey guys, I know there's a lot of other tools you could use, but I recommend this one, which you probably haven't heard of before, called ConvertKit. And I think it's awesome. And here's why. I use it myself, and so I can get people behind it. And that worked so well that ConvertKit reached out to me and wanted me to become an advisor to the company, which was super neat. So I loved that. Let's see. I like that you chose one place for your live, says Jennifer. Yeah, me too. Although you're here on YouTube and this is the place that I've chosen. So, I wonder what somebody on Instagram says. Now, I have gone live on Instagram a couple times. I think there's a tool called Luma that I've tried to stream through my desktop through this setup. And if you are curious about the equipment that I use, there's a link below in the description that you could check out in terms of what I use for this setup. However, it was okay, and actually the built-in live stream device within Instagram has some other tools like popping up the questions and the like polls and those kinds of things that just make it a little bit more interactive there than Lula did. I can't remember what that was. Kate says, love the shirt. Thank you so much. This is an SPI branded shirt. Own your outcome. That's what it's about. Increase your income by owning your outcome. Yeah, I think that works.
Bruh.
Vicky says, I'd rather attend the live stream with the entire audience in the same place. It's better for connecting and engaging with everyone. I agree. Thank you so much. Let's see. Question from Andrew. I heard an interesting comment on the Side Hustle show, Nick Loper, that constantly that constraint breeds creativity. What are your thoughts on this? Constraint breeds creativity. I agree with this in several different accounts. For one, if you only have a number of hours or minutes to work on something, you're going to get creative, right? I think that that's more on a micro level. On a major level, I remember when I got laid off in 2008, my constraint was I don't have a job anymore. Like, I need to be creative in order to get out of this. And that's what led to my online business that helped me break out of the idea that I had to be an architect for the rest of my life, and I became an entrepreneur instead. So yeah, I really love that idea. I think that, having a deadline helps you, and having accountability and having people sort of on you for not doing your work. That helps me as well, from my mastermind group to my wife and my kids. I think that's really important. So yeah, I really love that. Let's keep going here. Question from AV Peers. Were you always this organized, or did it evolve over time during your entrepreneurship journey? I don't feel like I'm that organized, but I do know that I have what I need in front of me to get things done. And that's, I think, the big difference here. And perhaps that's what makes it seem like I'm organized. I know what I need to work on, and I just go and I get it done. I'm not entirely organized, but I learn over time. And yes, it wasn't like that in the beginning at all. I'm pretty messy, to be honest, especially when it came to my schedule. But over time, you start to learn the strategies that work, and you can't do anything but, because you just get so much value from the things that you find out that do work. For example, for me, for having a physical space to work into, as well as a time constraint or time blocking throughout the day, that wasn't always the case in the beginning. In the beginning, it was just like, let me work whenever I have the opportunity to. And as a result, it bled into my personal life a little bit. It wasn't good. And so you sort of just, again, learn over time. Pat, where did you get your Mando helmet? You can see that right there. Etsy. And this is a really great helmet, by the way. It's super high quality. You could wear it, and you could be, Baby Yoda's caretaker, and it's awesome. Or the child's caretaker, excuse me. Dana says, hey, Pat, I'm in Trinidad and Tobago, T&T. Can I start an affiliate marketing business? Do affiliate programs such as ShareSale, Commission Junction, and ClickBait allow people from the Caribbean to join? I'm not exactly sure if they allow people. You'd have to check, and each of those platforms are a little bit different, but I do know, and I can pretty much guarantee that there are people in your country who likely are making money by having a business that is more on an affiliate-based offer versus selling your own products. It might be interesting to try and find and connect with the other entrepreneurs in your community to see what they do and what the rules are. But with each of those different platforms, it's going to be different, because it's really up to them. And it could be even up to the product that is showcased on those networks. They might have the ability to choose, well, we don't want our product promoted here, or we do want it promoted everywhere, what have you. So I would just recommend checking out to see if those things are there. Super chat from Rafal. Thank you so much. Pat Flynn, how has daily uploading impacted channel growth? It definitely actually has impacted the growth, not only because these lives are growing and we're approaching 200 people here today, which is really amazing. Thank you for that. But I think it has an effect on, overall watch time and session time within the channel itself. There's a number of you who have done amazing work, and thank you so much for when I go publish a regular video. I often publish it right after the live, and then I see just some great velocity coming right out of the gate, and that helps out so much, by the way. No video coming out today, so I'm not gonna ask you to do that, but when a new video comes out, if there's a little bit of noise and thumbs up and social proof there with the comments, which you all could help out with. It really adds a lot of value, and it helps with the growth because people who find it, or YouTube, when they choose to promote it to more people who don't know me, they see that there's people there already. So yeah, it's definitely helped. Not like in a giant sense. I think that the biggest thing that's helped me grow my YouTube channel recently, and again, by the way, I'm not saying you have to go daily in order for your channel to grow. In fact, it's quite the opposite. In fact, the thing that's helped my channel grow by essentially 2x in the last month is really honing in on what the videos should be about. They're about things that are going on right now. For example, the most popular video that I had that came out recently is top 10 tips from working from home without driving yourself crazy. And I think I worked really, really hard on the thumbnail as well to make sure it was compelling and it was friendly and it was inviting. And then a very good hook in the beginning of the videos to make sure people stick all the way through. Another video that I came out with recently relates to Webcam Willie. Do y'all know who Webcam Willie is? Webcam Willie is a character I made up that was used as a tool to help. He's kind of a tool. To help teach people what not to do on a webcam for video conferences and Zoom calls and those kinds of things. So that was a fun video, but obviously very relevant to the times right now. People more than ever are going on video conferencing calls and being on webcams. So you want to know how to not look like a fool. So Webcam Willie was the fool. Cool. New sub says All Right Media. Thank you so much, All Right Media. I appreciate you for that. AWM, All Right Media. And let's see, another video that came out recently that's doing very well is my Ecamm demo tutorial video, the best live streaming platform for Mac. And that video is like, I mean, if I could show you the graph, maybe this will provide a little bit of inspiration for you because it kind of provided inspiration to me. It got me really excited. I'm going to go to my channel videos here, and let's go to this one here. Let's see what this graph looks like. Look at this graph. Okay, so underperforming at the start. Underperforming, and then this is when YouTube was like, hey, this video is actually doing pretty well. Let's share it with more people. Whoa, it's doing even better. And then just like amazing. And look at this, it's getting more views than like my podcasting tutorial right now, which is kind of crazy. Over the past 48 hours, 4,571 people watching live, and literally every hour, hundreds of people, which is kind of crazy. And it's added 410 subscribers, which is kind of unreal. I mean, you compare that to, this video here about, using Elon Musk's brain to grow your business. I mean, look, it's just like, yay, not so good. And look, 34 people in the last 48 hours, right? So, and it's funny because guess what? I've spent more time on this video than the Ecamm live video, which is kind of insane. And this one only accounting for 22 subscribers, which is unreal, right? Isn't that crazy? So it just shows you that you kind of never know that YouTube is going to pick up a video or not, but at the same time, you could give it a better chance by focusing on what really people in your audience are looking for right now. Chris says, I love that views video increase sound effect. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Bruh.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh. All right. Love that you come up online every day. You are consistent and help here all the time. So inspiring. Thank you, Lola. I appreciate you. Vern says, don't be dumb. Hit the thumb. And that's related to our light goal today. We're trying to get to 200. We're already at 118. So let's keep that going. I'm going to give away a copy of Superfans. I'm going to write a little thank you in there for you. And there you go. Okay. Chris says, I thought it would be easier to work for yourself, but I learned you have to be an authority for yourself with time responsibility. It's so easy to break your own rules. This discipline is hard to learn. That's the hardest thing. It's a perfect situation because you're at home. You get to choose when you want to do it. But at the same time, because you get to choose when you want to do it, it sort of starts to blend into everything that you do anyway. And unless you have those constraints and boundaries, time and physical, then it's going to be a lot more difficult for sure. My pastor just had his virtual book signing this past weekend on Facebook, sold over a dozen books the first time around. How can we follow up, especially with the rest of his book store? So number one, you could do an encore. If something works one time, try it again. This is very, very common in the online marketing space to do like a second version. You can invite the people who were on before to just spend more time. It adds a lot more value. It is another situation. These lives are tough because they happen at a certain time and then they're done. right? That's the beauty of sort of recurring evergreen stuff, is that it's always available. It's always going to be helpful versus the live stuff like a book signing. Well, it's one and done. So you could do it again. That's sort of number one. You can then also sort of blast out the replay if you'd want, or even chop up parts of that replay. Maybe there's parts where this person had answered questions and you can rip those parts out and put them on social media and have them become something of a small piece of a much larger whole to just get more exposure for it, let people know about it, and whatnot. I think the other thing that can work really well is, since this book came out, Henry, you might be able to see how you might be able to get this person to be featured on other platforms where there are targeted audiences that already exist. So I don't know what the book's about, but if there might be some bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers that they can get connected with, or they might already have a relationship with, now's the time to ask for that favor to see if you could be featured on their show. But don't approach it with, hey, could I please be on your show? You need to approach it with, hey, I wrote this book and I'd love to share bits and pieces of it with your audience because it's about this and your audience seems to like that kind of thing. And there you go. Question from Dole Whip Dad: where do you get the sound effects that you are using? So you can get them on different places like audiojungle.net. That's typically where I get most of my sound effects. There are, however, royalty-free sound effects that you can get on YouTube. You got to be careful though, because they could say they're royalty-free and it's still somebody's intellectual property. A lot of these ones that have been memeified are typically royalty-free, and it's a little bit more of a grayer area versus using a video clip. But even then, it's still free use. It's still not free to use, but it's still what's it called? Gosh, I can't even remember. What's the term I'm looking for? There's like a legal term that like you could use something so long as you don't sort of deface it and you don't change it, but it sort of doesn't take away from what that thing was built for. But it was, like that's why you can use small little clips from movies and small little clips from things because, epidemic sound is another one, says Karma. Anyway, there's a term, I can't remember what it is right now, but the word free in there is, I think. And so long as you don't, fair use. Thank you, JD Reuter. I'm gonna give you a shout out here once your comment pops up, and I can here on Ecamm just shout it out. Memeified, yes. So fair use is it. So there's a lot of great videos here. Thank you to you for sharing that. There's a lot of videos here on YouTube from people like Tim Schmoyer and a few others who are in the YouTube space on the idea of fair use and what you can and cannot do. Thank you. Question from My Apps: any recommendations on basic camera for recording how-to videos? So I have to make some repairs around the house and wanted it to become a Home Depot affiliate. Yes, awesome. So here's what I would recommend. Use this tool here. This is going to be the easiest way to get, this is a phone, by the way. This is the easiest thing that you can use to get started. Yes, you could use some other things, and there's some higher quality stuff that you could use that's going to be a little bit easier to work with. However, I mean, the phone is easy to use. If you have an Apple phone, for example, you can airdrop it to your computer. You can edit it from there. It makes it super easy. It's high quality, and it's a little bit more personable, especially if you go selfie mode every once in a while to talk to the camera, to become that influencer and authority, that leader in the space to do these repairs. And then you can chop it up, edit it later, and make it look great, right? It doesn't have to be done in one shot, by the way. You just take pieces, put them together, it becomes an engaging video. So that's actually what I would recommend. Now, there's some other cameras out there, like point-and-shoot cameras. I like the Sony RX10 Mark III. Sony RX10 Mark III. Sony RX10. Why are the names of these things like this? This is a big pet peeve of mine, right? It's like, hey, you got to get the ATR 2100 or the Samsung Q2U microphone. I'm like, what does that even mean? Why is it like that? Why not the Tesla Model X? Or why not the Juggernaut? Or why not the Gunslinger? Or whatever. Like, those are names that can be, hey, here's a microphone. It's called the Gunslinger. It looks like a shotgun mic. That's why I called it that. And that's memorable, right? I don't know. I just have a little pet peeve about names of electronic devices. SEO Sorcerer, however, is right in saying that the lighting is more important than the camera, in my opinion. And this is very true. For example, if I were to just go overhead light, do y'all want to see what it looks like if I just turn my normal lights off and go overhead? It completely changes the feel of everything, right? By the way, you could even see how I've stacked and layered these lights together on my live stream setup webpage, which you can see in the comments section below. But if you're interested in seeing what that looks like, let me know. Actually, I'm going to do that right now just because it's a good demo and it just shows you how important lighting is. So I have a few lights here. I have this light here, which provides this light. See over here, you can't see it, but now you can. It's like it's shining this part of the face, which adds a shadow down here, which allows my face to pop a little bit more. If I were to move this light, and also I have a light on this side, which is on. It's not required. I don't need this light. This is the ice light. And this light is like a long LED light that allows the camera to not be so cinematic. So for example, if I turn that light off, now you could see the dark shadow on this side of the face. It does make it pop more, but it's more cinematic. And I'm not going for cinematic here. I want to go for a little bit more friendly. So I'm going to turn this other light off. Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Very dark. Now this one's okay because this webcam tries to use a lot of the ambient room light, which is the Logitech Brio. But I'm going to turn on the overhead lights to show you what's going on. So like it's not good at all. Wow, this feels super weird. It feels like I'm unprepared for this. I need to stop. All right, that's enough of that. Little quick demo there. But you could see the whole setup in the stacks. I also have these lights from Target back here. These little string lights plus a blue light LED that's sort of adding a little bit of color in the background, which is pretty cool. Ooh, this is a good idea. Maybe turn the ice lights off when you're about to do web reviews. That could be really interesting. But I have another intro for that, which is this one here. But we're not doing website reviews today, so we're all good. Question, does live streaming count as watch time and views the same as regular uploaded videos? It does, from what I understand. It's session time really that matters, whether it's live or watching a pre-recorded video. So that's cool. And this reminds me of Mr. Beast. I don't know if you know who Mr. Beast is, but he grew his channel by 20 million subscribers last year, which is crazy. He's doing these crazy challenges. When he started, by the way, guess what he used for his camera? A phone. But he started to gain a lot of momentum when he started to do these 24-hour challenges or these really long videos that were live streams. Like he said, I think some phrase, 100,000. No, he counted to 100,000 on a live stream. He also, what did he do? I think he read every word in the dictionary and live streamed that. And of course, just the nature of that topic as well is very like, check out this guy, look what he's doing, and this guy's insane. Like, let's subscribe. He does these crazy challenges for himself, and now he does challenges for other things. But yeah, I think this is why going live can be very useful for the rest of your channel. Jonathan says, question, how much space do you have to move around before you go out of focus? How far is your camera from you? So my camera is about, I would say, 8 feet from me, but I'm using a very wide angle lens here, which allows me to capture more of the screen. It does actually autofocus. So if I were to, all right, somebody's going to screenshot that probably and send it over, which I don't know if I want that to happen, but yeah, by the way, hit that like button. We are 60 away. We got a half hour. So we're over halfway to our goal right now, but I want to give away a signed copy of Superfans to somebody at random in the room here. But yeah, so it's a camera that allows it, it comes with me. It has autofocus. It's the Canon EOS R with a 20mm 2.8 f aperture lens. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Wouldn't be live streaming better because you have 1 hour straight watching? Yeah, essentially. But not everybody stays. Plus, when some people, it sort of balances out in sort of a way because some people come in and they're like, I don't want a live video. Or in most cases, people aren't that engaging when they go live, which is why I'm trying to work really hard with continuing the conversation here by getting you involved, having questions and answers, mixing it up, having fun, and all that kind of stuff. Scrap Happy says, I have the Brio. I use it to show my desktop, and my counter is pink, so the balance goes crazy trying to figure out what to do. That's really funny. A pink counter, yeah. Let's see. The amount of chatting in this group must carry some weight, too, for the algorithm. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about that. I would imagine that the likes definitely help, but the chat I think helps as a byproduct, because when people see a lot of people chatting, people stick around, right? When there's a community to kind of come and stick with, then, people are going to be watching longer, which then in turn makes the videos perform a little bit better, right? Just wrapped a 24, Janelle says, just wrapped a 34-day challenge where I did a daily chapter reading from one of our books. Easiest series ever. Yeah, that's really cool. I think, going live and doing something like that where you're just reading a chapter every time, and yeah, it might be slow at the start, but over time you gain momentum. People can watch the replays, and I think that that's really cool. And that makes it very simple. It's just like, what do I do? I'm just reading a chapter from a book. I know there's also some celebrities who are doing something similar right now who are reading chapters from books for children, which is really cool. I think Josh Gad is doing that, the voice of Olaf, and that's really cool. I actually was at Disneyland last year, and it was during D23. D23 is Disneyland's sort of like Comic Con, but just Disney, and that only happens every other year. So we happened to be in Disneyland at Star Wars Land, and we were in line for Smuggler's Run, which is the Millennium Falcon ride. And then all of a sudden, kind of out of this back door comes Josh Gad, and I don't even know her real name in real life, Rey from Star Wars. They were there together in a group being led by what's called a plaid shirt, which is like a tourist guide that you can hire at Disneyland to get you behind the scenes with everything and in front of the lines. And, they're there for celebrities, of course, most of all. Rey from Star Wars and Josh Gad were just like walking by, which was kind of insane. And the funniest part about this is that my wife follows like a channel on Instagram. It's like Disneyland celebrities. Because whenever we're at Disneyland, we're like, oh, I wonder what celebrities are here today. And there was a picture of Rey, and in the background was my daughter's hair, like the back of her head. And we knew because of the shirt and the ears were the same. So somebody had snapped a photo of Rey with us right in the background, but it was just the corner of my daughter's head. Daisy Ridley, thank you so much. Yeah, and she was gorgeous, and Josh was just so, like, his smile. Man, he's like a real-life Olaf. It's crazy. So crazy. Thanks, Pat, for these income streams, says Aaron. Been getting my cardio in while watching. Yeah, awesome. Hey, if you're like on a treadmill or something, like just go 0.1 a little bit faster for me. That'd be amazing. Chris says, this chat is awesome, but some live chats can be annoying due to the trolls, although I do love me a troll in the comments. Trolls make things interesting, but I don't want them here, so let's not talk about that. Scott says, I love to have this live stream going on my phone while I start my workday, especially since I start my day doing things that typically require less attention, so I can listen to the stream easier. Awesome. Well, now you're hearing your name, Scott Smith. Thank you so much for that comment and for watching. I appreciate it. Hey, that's a really good idea with the book. I think I could do that for my own book, says Diana. Oh, yeah, I could do that. I mean, I have some books too. I don't know why I'm talking like Kermit the Frog. Maybe a book reading. That might be kind of cool, especially one related to building your online business. I have Will It Fly? Will it fly? I don't know. We'll see. Question, what tips do you have for impromptu outdoor lives? So impromptu, you get better the more you do it. So that's just impromptu anything, whether it's indoor, outdoor, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, doesn't matter. The more you do it, the better you get. I think the other important thing is that you just got to be comfortable with just talking. And I'm an introvert, by the way, an extroverted introvert, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, I will go out and meet people and talk if I need to, and if I have to, and I know, and I want to. But the way I recharge is I, put myself in a hotel room and watch Netflix all day during a conference. Like literally during the conference, I'll escape and I'll get my energy back, and then I'll come back and be like, all right, let's talk to more people. And that's kind of how I roll at conferences. So if you don't see me on the floor, I might be in my hotel room eating some popsicles and watching Netflix. I don't really do that, but I do watch the Netflix part. I don't eat popsicles while I watch Netflix. That's kind of strange. But outdoor, I mean, the beauty of outdoor is there's a lot of things to look at, right? So as you're talking, as you see something interesting, point it out. Like you might be doing selfie mode and you go, oh, by the way, I'm walking by this beautiful dog right now. Look at this dog. Can I pet your puppy? Is that okay? Oh, wow. So cute. And it's just like it brings the viewer in with you on your walk, in your environment. And just make sure that you're not sort of filming your house in the background where a person could potentially extrapolate sort of where you live. That's the one thing I want to warn you about. It's what I talk about the last part of Superfans. It's just there could be some internet crazies out there, and we don't want anything bad to happen. So just be careful about what you share live and where you're at. I think just being aware of that is very key. Ooh. Dana says some lives are only watchable for the first 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, so hopefully you're sticking around for longer. I don't know. We keep growing though. We got 212 people in today. Appreciate you, by the way. Like goal today, 200. We are at 166 with 1 thumbs down, but I don't count that against us. It's not like 166 minus 1. We want to get to 200 though, so we're about 30 away, and we do have enough people to get there. Now I'm going to give away a signed copy of my book Superfans to somebody at random here. I got a whole bunch ready to send out, and we're going to give those away every once in a while. Francis says, questions. I ramble when I talk and want to improve on this for recording interviews. Any tips on not getting lost from the topic and rambling on a tangent? Yes. So the most important thing to do is before you get into a live stream, if there happens to be a topic for the live stream, really hone in on the major points that you want to talk about related to that. It's okay to ramble and get off a little bit, but just be aware. And again, just being, number one, conscious about it is the first step, which you're doing already, Francis, which is really great. But the second step is just ensure that you can check in with yourself every once in a while to make sure that you are going to where you need to go. And I think that's really important. So if you don't have anything else to say about something, like just go back to where you were before, or you can sort of just reset and just be okay with not knowing where something's going to go. That's the other thing that is really helpful for me for lives. You know, I'll have a story pop in my mind and I'm going to go like, well, I've never told that story before, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Plus, I also use it as practice. It's like going live is an amazing practice, especially for when you have conversations with people, when you are on a podcast and you're sort of just riffing as a guest, or even if you're conducting your own podcast, when you're creating YouTube videos. It just allows you to become a little bit more comfortable being natural, just talking in your own way versus scripting out every single thing that you're going to say. And as you can see, I'm not perfect. I pause every once in a while. I make mistakes, and we just keep going. We just keep going, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Bruh, can I get a hashtag bruh from the Quaranteam? Throughout your SPI journey, how are you able to not fall into the trap of living large, cars, big houses, etc.? Thank you so much for this question. So number one, I have an amazing wife who ensures that we understand what is most important in our lives. And I'm so thankful for her. And she even once told me, hey, if your head grows too big, I'm not going to be there to hold it for you. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And I'm so thankful for you. So that's number one. Number two, like, I also know what it's like to be on the receiving end of information from somebody who happens to have to show off and live a large life, if you want to call it that, or whether they rent those cars or they actually buy them or they rent that house or they actually are in there. In my own experience, if a person's trying to show off and share those kinds of things, well, eventually, yeah, they're going to get a large following, but they're going to have the wrong people follow them. They're going to follow them for the wrong reasons. And for me, what I know has helped my success more than anything is you getting to know the real me and me getting to know the real you. And the real me is like, doesn't care about those things. Yes, I like things, I do, but I also know that those things don't change anything in terms of what's going to make me happy. I think that those things potentially become rewards for hard work, but I'm not just, I think this is great. This reminds me of a story that I want to tell you really quick. I used to follow this podcast and these guys, and I'm not going to mention any names right now, but they were like really good friends with me. We were both building our business sort of simultaneously. I got to know them really well. We were all learning from the same people. And then they became very successful, more successful than me right at the start. And you know what happened? They changed. They started spending money on all this stuff. They started, blinging out a little bit, and their personalities changed. Money changed them. And guess what? We're not friends anymore. Like, truly. And it's because the money changed them. And I do not want to change for my family. I do not want to change who I am and my upbringing for you. And I think that's just, in my own experience, I don't know. It's just, we're not friends anymore, which is kind of sad. So money does change people, and having some foundations in place and values in place is important, and having other people on the outside to ensure that you're sticking to your correct path is important too. So I have my wife to thank for that. I have my mastermind group who I connect with every week to thank for that. And I have you to thank for that. Honestly, I've had cases in the past, in the early days of my blog, where I was maybe veering off to places that I shouldn't go in. And the crazy thing about that is y'all, whether you were part of the brand or not, just y'all being the SPI audience, were very quick to let me know what was going right and what was going wrong. And I think that I'm, again, truly thankful and blessed to have you here and watching and sort of being like, hey, Pat, we need you to stick to what you say you're going to do. And if you don't do this or you're going down the wrong direction, I'm going to let you know because we need you. And that makes me feel so special. Whew. Thank you for that, by the way. We got some super chats that just came in. By the way, super chats aren't required to be here, but I do happily accept that money. And then I will forward it to the people who really need it at the San Diego Food Bank at the end of the month. Last month, we donated over 1,000 meals. We've way past that during this month. So thank you so much, Sean. Sean, with the $10 super chat. Do you offer paid online assessments for entrepreneurs who may be trying to get a little bit more direction, essentially reviewing portfolio and giving advice on direction and or focus? I do have a paid mastermind group called the SPI Accelerator with about 12 students that I work with over the course of a year. But that's essentially the more personal interactions and sort of deal that I have in that sort of realm versus, I don't do one-on-one coaching right now. I might in the future because I'm getting very interested in working in particular with very specific people. This is more of a group coaching / personalized coaching sort of mixed together in the SPI Accelerator group. But no, not right now. We may do something like that in the future. Perhaps let's imagine in the future there's a SPI membership platform where you can get access to not just me, but my team and a bunch of other people who are in there to help support small businesses. And so that might be able to be possible in the future, but I don't do that right now. I know that we reviewed your website not too long ago, Sean, and hopefully that direction was helpful. And I do them in public forums like this to help even more people. So maybe in the future we can come back and see the changes you made on your website. And if you all don't remember, Sean's website was the one with the gorgeous images, but it was like, there were so many images. And I don't know what changes you've made yet, but I think you're off to a great start already. Hey, Archer in the house, what's up, my friend? Glad you're here. How are your live streams going? I know Hey Archer watches every morning and pops me on his large television, but also I know he's going live too, so congratulations to that. Keep going. Let's keep going. April says, y'all need to differentiate between me and Pat's April. When I walk away and come back and see you all saying my name, I get confused. LOL. Sorry, April. I meant my wife, April, not April, you. But you're awesome too. Glenn says, does anyone have info to hook into the Slack? So there is a link down in the description below to join the Slack group. I believe. I think I put it there. I'm not exactly sure if it actually is there or not. Let's see. Curio says, it is really nice of you to donate money for a good cause. Not many people do such good things. You're a really good and straightforward person. Man, go Team Flynn. I am a person and I am a man, and I am very, very willing to do that. The business, we happen to be in a very good place in the business with how we've been set up. So we want to give back. This is additional income coming in that was not planned for. And as a result, that extra income goes to people in need. So thank you so much for saying that, Curio. But yeah. We are almost at our light goal, by the way. And the way this works is once we hit 200, whoever's in the room, I'm just going to scroll up and down. You'll see me right here, my comments. You can see this scroll. I'm going to scroll like randomly like this, and I'm just going to look at you. And wherever my cursor lands, that's where we find out who wins the prize. So yeah, we're just about there. So let's keep going with the questions. Our Healing Project says, how do I find a good mastermind group? A mastermind group, for those of you who don't know, is a formalized group, not super formal, but it's a group of people, small, typically 6 or less people, where you have meetings that are a little bit structured that allow each other to help y'all out. It's sort of like a round table, right? Round table because there's no head of the table. I have some really good videos here on the YouTube channel. If you type in Pat Flynn Mastermind Group, it'll walk you through a little bit more detail, but I'll give you just the sort of high-level answer here for you, Our Healing Project. And The number one way to find people to be in a mastermind group with is to get to where groups of people are and see who in the crowd you vibe with, right? And so you're in a good crowd of people here in this community. You might be in some Facebook groups or some, LinkedIn groups or what have you. Those are great places to find people. The best place to find people is actually in person at conferences, where there are people who you might be able to find that you can gel with. However, of course, we're not actually going to places right now other than our home. So we're going to be talking about online spaces. And then just kind of seeding out there like, hey, I'd love to start, a formalized group with people. If anybody's interested, let me know. We can just have a chat and see if it's a good vibe. If not, no worries. And that's the other thing. You're going to have to work a little bit hard up front to find those right people, because you're going to maybe find people that are interested, but you just don't gel with them. And you just have to come into it with some expectation that, hey, we're going to try this out for a week or two. And if it works, awesome. If not, no worries. I want you all to be honest, and I'm going to be honest with you. And if this is a great, awesome, let's formalize this and let's hold each other accountable. And sorry, I had like some gas going on during that answer, but yeah.
Bruh.
Bro, hopefully that helps. 207, awesome. I love that. Fantastic. Let's get into the giveaway. So what I'm going to do is use my chat here that I see. I'm going to scroll up and down, and we're going to give away a random Superfans book signed by me. So wherever the ball lands, I'm going to... We got Suzanne Logue. Suzanne Logue. Oh, I like that. If your head gets too big, I'm not going to hold it for you. Got to remember that one. Funny that that's the one we landed on. But Suzanne, congratulations. Yay. You won a copy of Superfans, and it'll be signed. And if you send an email to pat@patflynn.com, I'll reach out to my assistant now and let her know that, right after this call, that she'll be expecting to hear from you. Send an email, pat@patflynn.com. We'll get you hooked up with a signed copy of Superfans. So well done. Awesome. Congratulations. All right, KS says, I'm going to try to make FlynnCon work next time. Yeah, I'm going to try to make that work too. We had to cancel FlynnCon, and unfortunately, we were being held sort of hostage with our $79,000 payment that was going to be due on April 29th because of contracts and everything we signed. However, I have some great news to share with y'all. Some great news. Hilton, thank you so much, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to hold the deposit, which was $10,000. They're going to allow us to do FlynnCon 2021 in the same hotel. They're not going to charge us $79,000 on April 29th. And the money's due next year. So, hey, we made it work, because this was something that I was sharing about in day 15, 16 that really had me stressed and worried. So I was worried about having to pay for a conference that was impossible to put on. Nobody's going to them. Nobody's buying tickets, sponsors, keynote speakers. That's not going to happen. But hey, FlynnCon 2021 is going to go down. And I'm so stoked on that. And yay, just super stoked. Wow. I was literally like saving every penny in the business in case we had to pay that. And I was very sad, because it was like, well, I'm going to be paying for an empty space right now. And the reason why they were holding us hostage, well, I mean, the hotel industry is getting slammed right now, obviously, right? So I kind of understand. But at the same time, like, I signed paperwork that said the event's going to happen on this date. And the stay-at-home mandates do not go past that date in July right now. So they were like, no, like, we're going to still process this like the event's going to happen. And I was like, okay, tell me how am I going to sell tickets right now? And thankfully, they sort of, they eventually got it. And so I'm very thankful and very stoked on that. And I think they want to have me as a client for longer. So that makes sense, right? So that's huge. FlynnCon will be likely in July next year. FlynnCon will be in July next year. But I'm not selling tickets to that right now. And I'm just, again, very, very thankful that that worked out. So just,
Bruh.
ooh, that was crazy. Jeff says, how did you hit it big? How did I hit it big? I think I hit it big by going big. If you continue to do the same things, the same small things every single day, you're going to continue to get the same small results, if not no results at all. You have to take bold actions. You have to get outside of your comfort zone. I did some big things, like, number one, the big thing that happened was I got laid off. And that was a big thing that I didn't want to do. I just got forced to do that. But that opened up my eyes to all these other possibilities. And this is back in 2008 when I got laid off. And it made me take bolder actions that I wouldn't have taken before. like starting a website to help people pass an architecture exam, like actually publishing a book, like actually dropping $1,400 for a voiceover artist to have me record my book to then sell it on the website a little bit later after that, to revealing my income online on smartpassiveincome.com, which nobody had ever really done before. Some people were doing it before, but not quite as long and as sort of extensive as I was. And writing books and getting on stages, things that were totally uncomfortable for me. How did I hit it big? I went big. You go big or go home, honestly. Yeah, there you go. Jennifer says, I'm setting a goal to fly out and attend FlynnCon 2021. Yes! Thank you. This is not why I'm here, to sell you into FlynnCon, by the way. I just wanted to give you that news. It just popped in my head as I was reminded about that. So I'm super stoked about that. Jamin says, I suggest the book Playing Big by Tara Moore for anyone who is afraid to leap. That's a great one. I think there's another one called The Big Leap, which is a good one too. Let's see. This is a great group of like minds across the globe connecting together to build and grow. Absolutely, for sure. Won't it be great? Like, I don't know how long this stream's going to go for. I imagine it's going to go on for a very long time. So long as we are still in quarantine, this will definitely still happen. But will it happen after? When we get back to normal or the new normal? I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm seeing the audience continue to grow. And so long as you are still here getting value, I'm probably going to keep showing up. But can you imagine this group, all the people that are in here right now, getting together in San Diego next year, finally being able to see each other, fist pumping, elbow bumping, or just, that, y'all see Demolition Man. Do you remember Demolition Man? Demolition Man was ahead of its time. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes. I mean, they were living in a germ-free future because of the diseases, and they shake hands like this. It's like, hi. And they wouldn't touch each other, and the 3 seashells, and just a hilarious movie. I love it. It was one of my all-time. Taco Bell is like the only surviving restaurant after the sort of the thing that happened in the movie, and it's like a gourmet restaurant. Taco Bell. It's like, how incredible of a story is that? Anyway, why was I saying that? Because we're going to be able to see each other in person at some point. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors involved, but like, this is going to be a special family that like shows up there, and just, I would imagine that it's gonna be really cool to meet you at some point in the future, whether it's at FlynnCon or another event, or maybe we're just seeing each other on the street or something. It'll be really cool. I'm just very thankful for you. That'll be really awesome. Three seashells. That's my favorite thing. That is my absolute favorite thing. Grandma Goody, thank you so much. My focus is to build a solid library of videos. First, proof for publishers. But at what point do I split attention to try and increase views? I think, I don't know why they're split. A solid library of videos first. Like, why can't they be also used to increase views? Because if you increase the views, that would also prove to the publishers that there's people there who are watching the video. So I would build for publishers trying to see these videos that are very, very well tailored to your audience, and going for views there. Like, if you like get the views, the rest will come, right? So this means planning out your videos, understanding what is it that your target audience might want right now, getting in front of other audiences to introduce yourself to your videos to, and all that sort of, like, I don't think there's a difference. I think that they're sort of one and the same, if that makes sense. AV Pierce says, why have I never seen this movie? Oh my gosh, you have to watch Demolition Man. It's so funny. And like, I want to talk about it right now, but I don't want to be, I don't want to give it away. Question from Funnels Generator. Question, what tools do you use to rephrase or model existing content? To repurpose, perhaps, or model existing content? So, I mean, we have all of our content in some spreadsheets so that we can go back to the past and go, okay, well, which ones have we not talked about in a while? Can we bring them back? Can we repurpose it? Can we, re-edit these? You don't always have to create new things. You can go back to your older content, update them, add new content, and then republish it. Add a new date, it becomes a newer blog post that, yes, some people may have read before, but guess what? It's updated, number one. Number two, it is something that then is showing Google like, hey, there's new stuff here. It might have a chance to get a little bit higher on the search engines. And number three, it can be a nice refresher for people who had once seen it before. And it just also shows, number 4, that you are always trying to keep your stuff updated. So it's totally okay to bring stuff back from the past and bring them into light now. In fact, I did an episode of the podcast, episode 200, with Todd Tressiter, who's a fellow mastermind group member of mine. He runs a website called financialmentor.com. Anyway, he deleted, hear this, he deleted a third of his content. And as a result of deleting a third of his content, he increased his traffic threefold. So he deleted a third of his content, increased his traffic threefold, because a blog, in particular, is just an archive of stuff that is not necessarily what the end result should look like, right? A blog is very much like a first draft of a book. It's just like stuff written and it's kind of all over the place. When you look back, when you zoom out and you look back and you're like, wow, this stuff isn't in the right order. It's not all relevant anymore. And he deleted stuff that wasn't relevant or just wasn't needed anymore, or he talked about them in a different way later. And he did a lot of 301 redirecting for those old things into newer things. And as a result, he was able to increase his traffic. So it just makes the whole website much cleaner and better. We actually did a number of auditing. Just look up, website audit or content audit for websites, and you're going to be able to find a lot of content and SEO proof that this actually does work, which is pretty cool, right? Awesome. We got 2 or 3 more minutes here. So let's keep going. Let's see here. Other questions. Luke says, if you had to start over with your website business, what would you do differently? So number 1, start an email list as soon as I can on day 1. I started an email list 2 years. This is twice I made this mistake. On greenexamacademy.com, I had started my email list only after year 2. This was even after I was selling product. I had no idea what I was doing, and it just shows you that you don't have to know everything. But I only wish I started my email list sooner. It would have been so much easier. I mean, man, on that website in particular, like I could have given away free practice exam questions. I could have given away so much stuff to build that email list huge. And then by the time my book come out, or the audiobook, or any affiliate offers, like it would have been a smash hit. Even though it did do very well, could have done much better. But you don't have to be perfect up front. I did the same thing for Smart Passive Income. Started it in October of 2008. Didn't collect my first email address until 2010. Oh, it makes me cringe when I think about that. But my mistakes are your lessons so that you don't have to make the same mistakes too. Secondly, I would eventually hire sooner too. I wanted to do everything myself. I don't know if it was a guy thing or pride or whatever, but I was like, yeah, I built the whole website myself. Bruh. And it's like, okay, well, great job wasting your time. Not that doing everything yourself is a bad thing, but I did that for 6 years. Everything, including Photoshop, including the coding, including everything. And I had wasted a lot of time. I think I could have hired out after year 2 and have achieved much more exponential results after that. And then the final mistake after that is really starting to develop the plan. Right? I would take it week by week. I publish a podcast episode. Okay, I hit publish. What's next week's going to be about? I don't know. I have to work hard to focus on creating this now. As opposed to what I do now is I'll take 1 2-hour period every quarter to just go, okay, in the next quarter after this one, what's the plan? What are we launching? What is coming out? What's happening in the world that we could maybe write about or podcast about? And okay, let's create the plan so that I know every week what is it I'm working on and what I'm getting into. And it just provides so much relief and stress relief, weight lifted off the shoulders so that you don't get the content hamster wheel again where you're just like, publish, oh gosh, I got to do this again. Oh, okay, got this out there, hit publish, oh, I got to do this again. It just adds a lot more time for you also and clarity so that you can focus after you hit publish on, well, what is it that you're going to do to help get the word out there? The other thing that this does that's really smart for business is you can understand if you're launching something, you can then support that launch with content on those different platforms, social, blog, podcast, YouTube, whatever, that sort of introduce that topic, that help people overcome the objections related to that thing. You can plan your content to support the launches that you have, and that's impossible if you don't know what it is that you're publishing next week. So that's what we're going to end on, Team Flynn. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you for that question. What an amazing chat today. Rapid fire Q&A. Thank you so much for being here today. We got a lot of work to do, obviously. Hopefully you're thinking bigger. Hopefully you're using this opportunity and time that you might have on your hands now to think about what is possible. there's a lot of stuff out there that's happening that we cannot control. There's a lot of stuff in the media that clouds our brain. And I'm not saying don't see those things, but most of all, I want you to open your eyes to the possibilities and the things that are indeed ahead of you. And I just want to say I appreciate you so much, Team Flynn, for being here. Team Flynn for the win. By the way, the link to join the show every morning, patflynn.com/theincomestream. What an amazing and powerful Monday we've had together. Thank you so much. Hit that like button if you can. Check out some of the other videos on the channel to help out. And I'll see you tomorrow. 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 or 5 in Europe. I don't know. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Team Flynn for the win. And as always, take care. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Love y'all.